Good times and great music at 2NURFM 103.7. Well, it's been a little over a month since I've had the pleasure of being in the same building as this gentleman. He is our exercise physiologist. You know him, you love him, you want to be like him, but you can't. Mark Goswell, good morning, sir.
I love that. Can I put that on my website?
You can.
That could be my new work motto.
Cursive writing.
In cursive writing.
Right,
I love it.
Today, how have you been the last month, by the way? You been good?
I've been wonderful. What about you, though? On holidays, living the life, loving... Just living the dream.
Back to normal now.
I know, it sucks. You've got to get back to work.
I know,
at some
it all
stage.
ends. I had to discover this thing on my phone called an alarm. I couldn't figure out where that was, but I've soon learned, let me tell you.
I'll bet it's been hard the first week back too.
Today you want to have a look at numbers, and that number being our age. How do you want to tackle that this morning, Mark?
Well, our age, we need to think about it as it is just a number. I was happening to talk to one of our clients who actually is a regular listener, Kate. Good morning, Kate. Hope you're listening this morning. I told you I'd give you a shout out. And she was just talking about where she wants to train and what she wants to do, and she was like, oh, it doesn't matter, love, I'm 60, I'm too old. And I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. Age is merely just a number that we use, and we don't have to be tied down or caught up with believing that just because we get to a certain age we need to modify our lifestyle or change our lifestyle.
Well, all it really is a collection of little squares on a calendar, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%, and it is.
More of them, granted.
Well, more of them, yeah, but there is also a thing that you can look at called your biological age as opposed to your chronological age. So, I've got clients that are in their 40s that have a biological age of 55 because they're ridiculously unfit, they're unhealthy, they make poor life choices.
And of course, sometimes the reverse is also true.
Yeah, 100%. Our oldest client that comes into the studio is 94 and he's still doing things that most people in their 50s and 60s can't do. So, that the whole age as a number is that you need to just focus on the fact that your health, your choices, your exercise regime should merely be targeted around what your lifestyle choices are. So, if all you want to do is be able to garden or play with the grandkids, then you just need to be fit enough or trained enough to be able to do those tasks. If you want a barefoot water ski at 83, then you've got to train. You've got to train a lot harder.
Different skill set, isn't it?
Yeah.
So really, that then becomes a situation where you have to think, what's my lifestyle? What do I want to get out of my life at whatever your chronological age is, and try and set your biological age to fit that.
Yeah, and like a prime example is we get a lot of people that come into the studio who, their passion is gardening, and then people don't take into consideration the physical requirements needed for that.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. So, like, if you want to be able to go...
Unless you've got a couple of little plant boxes on the windowsill.
Yeah, on the windowsill.
But other than that, it's a lot of bending and stooping.
Exactly. So, it's,
I don't have the knees for it.
But that's the thing. You need to know how to deadlift if you've got, issues within your knees. You've got to be able to know how to lunge, how to squat, how to do pull and push movements within particular loads, because the problem with gardening, for example, is we don't know the loads that we're pulling. We don't know the loads that we're pushing. Vacuuming is one of the hardest things that you can do in the house. I recommend floorboards instead of carpet.
Less vacuuming required.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that if you're having troubles in life, there's always an exercise that can actually develop the skills to be able to do that type of movement.
So I kind of like this idea because you've sort of gone down this road before where we can sort of tailor what is good for you might not necessarily be what is required for somebody else. So it's working out what do I want to do? Is it vacuuming, gardening? Is it, like I said, is it something a bit more sporty or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And then work out what you need to get there. It might find just some small changes could actually get you quite comfortably on the road to where you need to actually be.
Yeah, and in the lifestyle that you need. And one of the things that I talk about regularly, pretty much every day, is that people take for granted how complex the human gait is, or our ability to walk. And one of the things that people mistake or they miss is that every time we walk, essentially we are balancing on one leg. Now, the amount of people that come into the studio that literally can't stand on one leg, and they're like, I'm having troubles walking down the driveway, I'm having troubles getting up and down the stairs at home. So our simplified ability just to balance on one leg, which there's a whole bunch of exercises that you can do to improve that capability, improves the simplicity aspect of life of just getting up out of the chair, walking down a set of stairs. People will alter their lifestyle and go, I need to move out of the house I've gotten by a single story and lose $100,000 in stamp duty and moving fees, where it's just a couple of simple exercises can improve your quality of life without having to make those drastic changes. So train for the lifestyle that you need.
Super quick before I let you go, what got us into this conversation was your chronological age, in other words, what your birthday says it is, versus your biological age or your real age is in what you physically... Is there a quick method to figuring that out?
No, I actually don't. Well, there is, but I don't know it.
Okay.
No, there is. It's a quite simple thing, and it's actually a couple of tests, but I actually don't know how to do them. Maybe I can look into that.
You look into that. We'll get into that in a future week. All right.
Maybe 2 weeks. I'm a busy and important man.
It's maths with Mark Goswell in the weeks to come. There is our exercise physiologist. Train for the lifestyle that you want to have. Sounds pretty good. We'll catch up with him next week right here at 2NURFM 103.7.